What's up, Champ Bet's back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for UFC 306, O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. Very excited for this card. This card's getting a lot of hate, and I kind of don't understand it. I get like some of it for like some of the fights, but like there's one piece of hate which makes zero sense, and I'll get to that because I think that fight's probably gonna be fight of the night. So, shoot, let's get into it. But first, as always, let's go over the results this past week, and that is here. Ended up losing, sadly, although the big bet of the card, which I was like very confident in, it hit. Jack Emerim, exactly what I thought would happen. Just a monster in the jiu-jitsu on the ground. A monster in the jiu-jitsu in the ground. And that made me so proud. She looks so good. I know people are going to bring up, like, she put the fingers in the glove. That's not the one that got armbarred. That didn't really help her get the position to like, get the armbar. What really, I mean, Domnopoulos kind of distracted herself instead of trying to stop the submission. Like the process of getting to the submission. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Even if like Emerim was gonna do that, like pretty much all the time. She's gonna stay on top, keep position, find good sub attempts, and if they don't work out, she's gonna find a sweep. She's gonna make sure she's on top. Emerim's on the ground. Never want to mess with her. Never want to mess with her. Made me so proud. Made me so happy. So yeah, great job by Emerim. I'm happy that was my big bet of the card. Wish I put more, although I did parlay her with something this week, so in a way I'm not necessarily done with that, so feels good. And then everything else lost. I bet everything else was an underdog except for Trevor Peek, we'll talk about. Ramaska, he looked good round one. Like, he did some really good reverses on the ground, and it's like, yes, this is why I bet you. You're the real true tough champion, not Marion Santos. And then Fletcher's able to get him down again. And honestly, props to Fletcher because he was able to get him down at will. It was not a problem to get him down, which I knew that was a very real possibility. Although Fletcher does have a problem with like pushing his own fight. It's in the past. It's had that problem before. And I thought that might have been a problem here, along with Ramaska being just pretty massive in comparison to Fletcher's pretty small. 155 former 155er fighting a former 135er, but he's able to get him to the ground, get the position in round two, and satch up that sub. So hey, props to Fletcher. It is what it is. I probably shouldn't have put as much on Ramaska, but it is what it is. I really did like him in this fight, so it is what it is. He's my favorite underdog on the card besides some other ones, but wasn't gonna put as much on them. I also bet on Yija to beat Gabriel Santos. He had nothing for him, and to be fair, I wasn't expecting him not to go as much for the take. He started going for takedowns in like round 2 and round 3 more so, but he didn't really implement that early, and I was really hoping he would be able to do it. But hey, again, props to Gabriel Santos. He justified his price tag. He looked phenomenal. So like that honestly probably was a bad call on my part. I totally get that. But we know that now that Yija has a vibranium chin. The things he was getting hit with in this fight, insane. He fought for my money. I can feel good about that he fought for my money. So it is what it is. Trevor Peek next. I thought he could have won that fight. It was close. I think I did give it to Yanel. Gave rounds 2 and round 3 to Ashmus. Round 1 was clear Peak. I don't know how a judge can give that 30-27. Yanel got a takedown round 1. Hit like 3 significant strikes, 4 significant strikes, and that was it, while Peak landed a bunch more. And he didn't really do much damage. In the other rounds, he did do damage. He got some really good knees in those rounds, but like not round 1. No, that's it. 30-27 was insane. But 29-28, either way, I thought it was fine. I thought it would have been fair. There was one moment around 2. It's like, oh my god, Peak is fighting measured for like the first time in his life, and it's like, this is actually somehow working. And then the one moment around 2, he just rushes in and then it gets taken down. I was like, no, you were doing everything so right, and then you go do that. No. It is what it is. I didn't put too much on Peak. I wasn't like that trustworthy in him to put a good amount on him, and I feel good knowing that I didn't put too much on him. So it is what it is. He didn't pull through. Please give Peak some fun fights, not people who's gonna try to do that to him. So yeah. Next fight up the card that I bet on, Matt Schnell versus Cody Durden. I bet Matt Schnell. I do not feel bad betting that. I feel so convicted, but he lost, and I hurt my soul. Schnell was looking so good. He was looking so good, and I was like, oh my god, Durden might actually gas out. It's like, this is looking well, and then Durden snatches up the sub round 2. Schnell's chin looked like best it's ever had. And like, not best ever had, but in a while, since probably the Bontarine fight. And it's like, he's looking so clean, putting the fight on Durden, making Durden like move back towards the end of round 1, which is like, oh yes, I was not expecting this to happen. This is good. Yeah, Schnell was not deserved to be plus 240. That was insane. Durden didn't cover that price tag, but he won at the end of the day. Fair play. Good win from Durden on short notice. That was like one of the main reasons why I was on Schnell here, because I didn't think Durden on short notice, no real corner on his back. I think he did have people in his corner, but it was like seeing people in the area, because I know he mentioned like he was not gonna have it. It's like he's a normal corner for this fight. So yeah, props to Matt Schnell. He fought for my money. I can be happy with that one. And then Kyle Nelson versus Steve Garcia. This dude, Steve Garcia, keeps getting away with it. His ground, you can't deny that his ground and pound is insane. And if you're getting ground and pounded by him, you're live to get just be done with. He did hit an elbow on Kyle Nelson's back of the head, and there's like a hematoma, like something popping out from Kyle Nelson, and I think that definitely did a lot of damage. And Kyle Nelson is not the same. I did like you did very well with the back. You took the back pretty early on. I was like, yes, Kyle Nelson, yes. I just need you to pull through and we're good. But hey, it is what it is. He didn't pull through. I bet a bunch of underdogs, and some of them look pretty good. Some of them like I'd say all of them except for Yija had moments, really. So I can feel not the worst with like this losing night, because in other circumstances, another reality, I win some of those, and hey, those are not bad bets. So it is what it is. Mostly happy with Amarine pulling through, because if she didn't pull through, my heart would have sunk. I would not have been happy. But I was very, very convicted on that. I'm very convicted on one specific fight that I parlayed her with, and we will get into that. But of course, let's go into the rest of the fights, the ones I didn't have bets on, things I was not as confident in to have my money on, or the odds were just not there. I did pretty awful on picking this card. I went 5 of 12. So Andre Petrosky, yeah, he won a decision. He didn't really push for a finish. He probably could have, but save the gas tank. It's being smart. Especially after the weigh-in. Budka looked awful at the weigh-ins, and I don't really know what he was doing in this fight. I thought he was going to like try and also wrestle Petrosky, but he kind of had nothing. You're just trying to strike with him, but the striking it's kind of atrocious. I'm going to be honest. So great win from Petrosky. It was easy. Talked about this one. I did have a bet on this one actually, but like not a money line bet. Bet MMA Tips doesn't let me like show that. I had a pretty nice bet on Felipe Dos Santos to get more significant strikes, because I was like, he's going to be the one throwing a lot more volume, and this is like plus 160. That's like a no-brainer to me. Like this guy, I expected this fight to be more on the feet, and it really wasn't. It was a lot of grappling from Lima towards rounds 2 and 3, and even the Felipe Dos Santos, he tried to initiate some like grappling and wrestling early in round 1. Didn't work to his benefit for the most part, but Lima's defense is quite crisp, and yeah, Lima looked great. He looked great, especially like he showed his grappling chops, able to control Felipe Dos Santos, able to hold Mount, which is not easy to hold Mount at all, like because Mount you're able to explode up and like get out. It's not as good as like the half guard. Like Andre Petrosky was on half guard the whole time for that reason. Doesn't want. I'm going to stay on this top position, not be dumb. Very impressed with Andre Lima. He's very good. He just made me feel good picking him. So yeah. Isaac Dalgarian won by round 2 finish. I was right with I think he's gonna go like 1 round over just because of the C-Rod fight. I was right. I was right about that. He didn't want C-Rod lives in his head rent free. Kidding him, sort of course. But at the end of the day, it's very smart to not overexert yourself too much if the finish is not there. So Isaac Dalgarian did whatever the hell he wanted. This is a layup. Good win for him. Yeah, nice by Dalgarian. Rongju versus Chris Padilla. I was not super duper confident in Rongju here, and feel good I didn't really bet him. Rongju I thought was winning early on, although Padilla was starting to get like some momentum in the striking. And man, that elbow by Padilla, nasty. I didn't really think Padilla had too much on the feet, and he did show me something in this fight. He did show me something. This guy's not bad. He's pretty good. Maybe not like best in the fighter world like he thinks, but you kind of need that mentality. And actually, how young is he? Actually, I'm super curious about this. Let me just check real quick. 28. He is pretty young, so who knows? Who knows? Maybe he can make some crazy improvements in this time. He did look good, so props to Chris Padilla. Talked about that one. This one. I also had a bet on this one, but it was not like a traditional one. Same thing as the Felipe Dos Santos one. I had Natalia Silva more significant strikes bet, which was minus 210. Yeah, it was definitely minus 210. That was all day. The only chance of that ever like not hitting was like Jessica Andrade taking her down and just landing ground and pound, but I didn't see that happening. Silva looked great. She did a great job at keeping the distance. Well, maybe not keeping the distance, because Andrade had a lot of like, maybe not a lot. She had success, I should say. She had success. It was like, ooh. But we did learn Natalia Silva. She does roll with the punches very well, and she can take a shot. She can take a shot because Jessica Andrade is probably like the most heavy hitter in this division. Maybe Grasso, maybe Ariana Da Silva or Lipsky, whatever you want to call her. Like maybe those would be in the contention with Andrade, but I'd say probably Andrade's harder hitter than both of them. Able to take it well, and Natalia Silva looked great. I am worried about Silva because the fights coming up, I think, are going to be really, really tough if she keeps fighting up. I think a Macy Barber would be like, I don't really want her to fight that right now. Not right now. She's still young, though, again. So she's got so much time to improve. I think she can definitely be a world champion. It's very, very possible. Maybe a girl like Menon is going to be too big for her. I think that's very, very possible. Because Menon's a monster. And she can kickbox herself, so... And Russell, she's good. She's all around. She's good all around. But yeah, Natalia Silva. Nothing taken away. She's freaking incredible. She deserves to be in like the top 5. Well done. And Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. Feel pretty good that I stayed away from Gilbert Burns here, like betting wise, because I was tempted to bet him, but I was saying like, if you're gonna bet him live, like bet him live after at least round 1. Maybe round 2, because the odds are going to be better, and they were. I didn't end up like placing that bet because I was like, Brady might be okay. Let me see round 3. And I did think Burns did win round 3 because he landed some huge shots on Brady that round. But there were like, I was like, oh, maybe Brady's gonna gas, but like I was like, I'm just gonna stay back and watch. Yeah, Brady, I think, honestly, like, we got hit by a nut shot pretty bad by Gilbert after giving one for himself. Like, doing one to Gilbert, I mean to say. And it's like, oh, he's going to recover. He's going to be fine. I was not even, like, super impressed by the cardio, but I knew he'd be able to, like, last, like, the 5 rounds with how the fight was going. He was fighting his fight at the end of the day. So, it was a great job by Sean Brady. He looked pretty good. Not, like, all-time like great performance. He's called out Ian Gary, and I'm just like, I think Ian Gary beats you. I'm not gonna lie, because I think the movement of Ian Gary would just be too much. the length of Ian Gary just be too much. He can snipe Sean Brady for sure. Yeah. So that's what I thought. That's my thoughts on that card. Not the best picks wise, but it is what it is. We shall bounce back. Although I'm afraid about some of these fights, but let's get into that. Very excited for this card. Except for this fight. This fight hurts my soul. I'm not sure if I've been doing this long enough for you to know about Mongolian Murderer and me. I don't know the guy. I should maybe not act like I know the guy like that. My first UFC event that I went to was UFC 261, which was Usman versus Masvidal 2. First fight was Ariane Carnelossi versus Na Liang. The second fight on the card, which was fight of the night, Jeff Molina versus Orichi Lang, the Mongolian Murderer. And I've been a super fan ever since. And I want to pick this so bad, but I can't. It's probably Raul Rosas round 1 submission. This hurts my soul. Please give Orichi Lang another shot at the UFC. I don't want him gone. Please, he's fun. He's a fun fighter. Give him only strikers. I want to see him go to war. It's just the takedown defense isn't there. The odds are wild on this. The odds are minus 900 on like Raul Rosas Jr. Bananas. Hell no. I'm not doing that. I'm not interested in that at all. Although in other books he's like minus 700, I guess, which is still kind of crazy. Like maybe gets to a point where I literally only will put $1 on Orichi Lang. That if I make a bet, that's the only thing I would bet, like just one. Cause and it'll really just be like I'm biased and like I want this guy to win so bad. And I really do want him to win, but I just can't see it. I can't see it. He needs a lucky shot. So yeah. Probably a Raul Rosas Jr. win here, in my opinion. Just to be able to wrestle. Yeah. Although Orichi Lang does have power. He does have power. At one point he had the pound for pound most power, like comparable to like Francis Ngannou. So, and like at one point, I'm not sure if that's like true anymore though. Next fight up the card: Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. This is a fun fight. At the odds, I'm looking at fight odds at IO. Edgar Chairez plus 180, Josh Van minus 210. I hope those odds come down. I think they might. And I'm hoping for it because I want to bet Josh Van at like a good price. I do, because I think Josh Van wins this fight. It is sketchy because I do think it would be a decision. I do think it probably goes to decision, but I think the narrative on Van has quickly shifted for something crazy. Charles Johnson is really good. I picked Charles Johnson to win that fight against Josh Van, not by KO, of course, but Charles Johnson was looking good in that fight, and so was Joshua Van. And like, people are forgetting, like people were picking Josh Van to beat Tiger Ulanbekov. People were doing that, and now we got like a lot of people. I know, maybe not a lot of people, because Typology has a lot of people picking Van, but a lot of bettors I'm hearing all of a sudden is like, oh, I like Edgar Chairez here. I like Chairez here. I'm not been like really impressed too much by Edgar Chairez. Okay, sure, he looked all right against Tyra. Still lost. Like, oh, he looked good against Lacerda. Okay, sorry. I don't rate that much. Joshua Van, he does have good wrestling, and I think that it's gonna be like a big difference. I think he's gonna bring the fight to Chairez and get that body work going. Go boxing. It's gonna be a Joshua Van vintage performance, I think. And maybe he wins round 1 too. Although that makes a good point. That's a good point, because I know he does drop round 1 a bunch. He does. So like maybe a live bet on Joshua Van might be the way to go. It might be the way to go. Or an over. I think an over would probably be pretty good too, because I don't think Chairez is going to get finished, and I don't think Joshua Van probably will either. If there is a finish, it's probably late. This is what I think. So I think those are angles to go ahead and look at for like betting wise that fight. And I'll talk more about 6 strikes and more takedowns kind of stuff, other props, when I do the recap at the end. Here we go. The big bet of the card. I don't see how Hargui loses this fight. I don't. Well, okay. I shouldn't say that, but there's only one chance of her losing this fight. is by getting randomly KO'd. Randomly KO'd or TKO'd. Only chance. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. Not by Ketlin Souza. I've not been impressed by her. I've not been impressed from like what I've seen on tape. Harguy's a monster on the feet. This girl Souza does not have Denise Gomes' power. I don't think that's like a hot take, really. Ketlin Souza could not get Marna Kaman out of there. She could not really like hurt her. Like I think it's like a different performance than like someone like Josephine Knudsen had. Cause it was like, I feel like Josephine Knudsen could have gotten her out of there. Could have gotten her out of there if she like really poshed it up and did more. But I felt like with Ketlin Souza, she was trying to put it on her but couldn't do it. Kind of thing. Harguy is a lot better on the feet in my eyes. Ketlin Souza not bad on the feet, of course. That's her strong suit. Good Muay Thai. But the boxing of Harguy is just nice. I think this Amarine performance, like, again, I remind you, this girl just beat the Sampage. The Sampage, put some respect on her name. Put some respect on the Sampage's name. What she did to Sampage is so impressive. Sampage is always there and is going to bring a war every time. And I did pick Sampage, and I blindly, I mean, I shouldn't say blindly, but I picked Sampage to win, like, almost all of her fights, and I was willing to do it against Harguy. I was like, I'm not super sure because I rate Harguy very, very highly. I really do. I think she has shown in the past she's very good. She can take a shot, although, like, again, it's scary. But against two has she taken shots? Denise, or not taken shot, like, gotten hurt and like dropped. Against Denise Gomes, she's got really good power. Estela Nunes, underrated power. I know Estela Nunes doesn't have the best record, but she's not bad by any means. She's actually pretty good. Just has like some gassing issues. And like she did look good, somewhat pretty good at it against Sampage, although the Sampage does her thing. I think Harguy is gonna cruise here. I think she can get a finish. I think she's gonna get a nod decision. It's just no shade UFC. The Mexican gonna be rooting for Harguy. She's gonna get all that on her side. I think this is the UFC trying to give her a win, honestly, and I'm willing to put a lot of money on that. She's my biggest bet of the card. I love Yasmin Harguy in this fight. So yeah. Also, I didn't even mention this. In the Estela Nunes fight, she did show some good grappling as well. Good grappling and wrestling as well. Like good exchanges in that, good ground and pound, which I like to see. I think she's possibly even live for a sub. I think that's like a kind of sneaky angle there. And I won't put much on it. I'll put like maybe like $1 or something like that on it. But I think that's kind of sneaky, and it's very possible. This Harguy I think she can snatch something up. I think it's possible. I am going KO. I do think she's gonna get a finish here against Ketlin Souza. I don't rate her that highly. She's young. Not Ketlin Souza. Well, I mean, Ketlin Souza is young, but so is Yasmin Harguy. I also want to mention this. If you look at Harguy's like Instagram, she is jacked. She usually is jacked for all her fights, but like, man, the pictures I'm seeing, like she's ripped beyond belief, and maybe that's something like this, or maybe she's like a lot of hard work. Either way, I like it. Souza looks good in shape as herself, to be fair, but this girl Harguy, I think, is the real deal. I think she knows what a stage the Sphere is gonna be. Yeah, give me Yasmin Harguy here. Next fight up the card. Ooh, this is such a good one. This should be on the main card. This fight should be on the main card, in my eyes. Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. This is going to be an insane fight. I think this is crazy. 70%. I understand if it's like 50-50. But I do think Ignacio Bahamondes wins a decision. I would give Torres some credit. I think he's going to be tough. I think he's going to be super tough. And I think it does go to decision because of that. Man, I like the length of Bahamondes. I think his striking is very nice. Trains with Bilal Muhammad. Champ. That's good to see. Guys who train with Bilal been doing good. Michael Morales. It's been going pretty well for them. I feel like Manuel Torres is like win. I mean, Chris Duncan, good win by all means. I'm not gonna say that, but like some of these ones are just, I'm just not going crazy about. I know Bahamondes does have a chin, so I'm gonna rely on that. I'm gonna rely on that. And as the odds keep falling down and coming towards Torres, I mean, actually, let me even take a look. Manuel Torres minus 105 now in Bet Online, plus 102 in Bovada, my bookie. Yeah, he's hard, and I might flip. The line might flip, and I think if it does flip, I'm gonna put a small bet on bottom one. I'm not like ultra confident in this one. I do think Manuel Torres is pretty good, but I think if it does get extended with how Torres fights, I don't think he can sustain it. I don't think he can sustain it. While Ignacio Bahamondes, I do. So, and losing to Ludovic Klein is not a bad look by any means. Ludovic Klein, fantastico. He's really good. He's very good. So, yeah, give me Ignacio Bahamondes to win this fight. Next fight up the card: Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. This fight. Oh, I'm so tempted to bet it, but like I kind of don't want to. I don't know. If I do, it'd be really small. But I like Norma Dumont to win, probably by decision. I've never been high on Irene Aldana. The first Irene Aldana fight I watched, like I started watching UFC in 2020, like January 2020, McGregor versus Cowboy. First Aldana fight I watched was Holly Holm versus Irene Aldana. My ever since I saw that fight, I've never thought of her like as anything special. I don't think she's that good. I really don't think she's that good. I think she can get wrestled, as shown from the Chasson fight, which I think is going to happen here with Norma Dumont. I mean, Nunes too. Nunes is a different beast, of course. Let's be real. But Chasson. I think she can get wrestled. I'm not crazy about her boxing even. Like, she always has plan A and no plan B, no plan C. It's just, I'm going to come forward and try and do something and maybe not even throw that much. Although she did throw a bunch against Kairo Hosa, who low-key could have won that fight. But, I mean, props to Irene Aldana. She's tough. You got to give credit to that. But I think Dumont's going to take her down and keep her down. I like Dumont here. I'm tempted to bet it, but I'm not too interested in betting too much on it. So, yeah, I am worried about like a bias sort of thing happening, but I do think Dumont's gonna win a decision. Maybe an over would be all right, but actually, I wouldn't even bet that though. I wouldn't bet that. This fight up the card: Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. I can kind of understand people being like, this fight shouldn't be on the main card. I kind of get it. I know this guy, Ronaldo Rodriguez, has a big following, and that's probably why they probably want to build him as a star, and I get that. I totally get that. I think either Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont or Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes would be good here as well. I think those would be sick fights to have here, instead to have this be the prelim main event, the prelims. But it's okay. This should be a fun one. Ode's in fun fights. Ode is live to win this fight, but I'm probably going to go with Rodriguez to find a sub round 2. I'm not ultra confident Rodriguez. I'm not really high on him like at all. But I do think he can, if he gets on the ground, which if he doesn't, yikes. Ode's going to light him up. And Ode's like losing to Jahel Fijo, really good. Asio Mambayev, not bad. Charles Johnson, I think people argue he should have lost that fight. I don't remember what I thought. I think I might have gave that to Ode, but it was close. I mean, it's still Charles Johnson. Tyson Nam, not bad by any means. Yeah, I don't know. It's bad I don't remember this. That's been forever ago. 2 years, Jesus. Anyways. I've not liked what I've seen from Ronaldo Rodriguez. I think he's kind of slow. I like his jiu-jitsu. His wrestling, not so great. I thought Bondar was winning that fight, like, pretty clearly. He had props to Ronaldo Rodriguez. I think he's a tough son of a gun, and that's kind of why I am ultimately picking him, because I think he's going to be tough enough to survive the exchanges on the feet with Ode Osborne, and then go ahead and find a find a submission of some kind on the ground, because I think he'll be able to find a way to get it to the ground and get a win. So I like Ronaldo Rodriguez here. Not ultra confident. Not interested in betting it. Maybe I will be interested in Ronaldo Rodriguez to win in the distance and decision void. I might be interested in that because I kind of don't think Ode gets a finish here, because this dude Rodriguez is a tough dude. He is tough. So yeah, give me Ronaldo Rodriguez. This fight. The discourse on this fight is crazy. Not because of like anything to do with like picking or anything like that. The fact that people are saying this fight does not deserve to be on the main card, you do not know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. This fight is going to be fight of the night in my eyes. I got Zell Huber to win a decision. But man, these guys are fun. These guys are so much fun to watch. And like they always bring wars. Like Zell Huber's last fight, Prado, it was an absolute war. Like Prado gave him problems early on. He's able to take control, look amazing in that. And he's my big bet of that card too. Zell Huber made me so proud. Cristias Gallegos had a good fight with him. Gallegos kind of hurt him. It was like, oh shoot, what? And then able to find an Anaconda choke. Fun fight. Venata, fun fight. And then Trey Ogden, that was his debut. I blame that to UFC jitters. While we look at Rybovics, that KO on Terrence McKinney. Holy cow, that was so nasty. I thought McKinney would win that fight with like a quick finish. Fair play to freaking Rybovics, man. Fair play. This dude's good. Kamala Kirk, fun fight. This guy's always in fun fights. Loic Radzhabov, absolute war. This guy's always coming in to go to war. I love that. And he's a great prospect. Both these guys, fantastic prospects. This is going to be an insane fight. It's going to be great. But I do lean Zell Huber, and I think I'm going to bet it. Because I do think he's at Extreme Couture, and I like that because I know there's going to be guys in the gym who's going to like provide a look like Rybovics is going to bring him. It's going to bring, like Rybovics going to bring all-out chaos, bring you a war. I do think Zell Huber, being the longer guy, like bigger reach, taller, I think he's going to be able to use that to his advantage and to go ahead and beat Rybovics here. I think that's like the main key difference. Zell Huber, Rybovics is a great striker. So is Zell Huber. Zell Huber is fantastic at what he does. I'm very, very high on him. So I love Zell Huber here. I want the odds to come down more. I want them to come back more, and they are coming down, which I like. Oh, are they? It was minus 220. Now it's minus 215. Okay. I love Zell Huber. I do think he gets it done. So, yeah, give me Zell Huber. This fight again, we talked about this fight before. On UFC 303, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. My opinion has not changed. I like Ortega around 3 KO. I'm not one of these people where it's like, oh, I saw Lopez fight Dan Ige, and now Ortega wins. No. I've been on Team Ortega for this fight since this fight. I can't talk about that Diego Lopez performance against Dan Ige. I think people are taking a little too much from it, if I'm honest, because you have to remember the context. Lopez weight cuts to 145, then Ortega is like, oh, 155, bro, 155. It's like, oh, okay, I'll do it. I'm willing to make it work. It's like, okay, it happens. Then Ortega falls out on fight day. Then Dan Ige comes in on super, super short notice. And it's like, wow, this fight's happening. And then he has to re-weigh in. Dan Ige weighs in. And Dan Ige's such a badass for doing that. And then gets to fight a completely different matchup. Lopez looked all right in that fight. I thought he looked pretty good. People are saying he lost his aura, and I think that's kind of true. I don't care about the aura anyways, to be honest with you. He does have great jiu-jitsu. There's no denying that. But so does Dan Ige. Dan Ige's have really good jiu-jitsu. Not Brian Ortega level jiu-jitsu, but good jiu-jitsu. And Ige really put it on him in round 3. But I think because of that context, and again, this Ortega-Lopez fight originally at 303 was short notice. And I did think Ortega would be able to take over in round 3 and like put it on Lopez. But because of those things, I think you can still argue that you can argue that there's a question mark on like Diego Lopez's cardio. It's not like a foregone conclusion. This guy does not have cardio. It's not a foregone conclusion still, in my eyes. Although I do think that is the case because just how he fights, like he goes to absolute smash you. He's trying to kill you in there, and I think he's going to try doing that here, and I think Ortega's going to survive, and I think Ortega's going to be able to weather the storm and then put a storm on and Lopez and finish him in the later rounds. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much the same breakdown I had for 303. He has more time for 145. I also want to mention this because I think people have completely misconstrued this whole Brian Ortega 145, 155 thing. He said I've listened to the interview where he talked about that. He said he was only doing that because he wanted to keep busy. That's the only reason he was doing that. Because like it was like, but like Ilya's got to fight Volk and then Max. What about you, Ortega? He wanted to keep busy. And he wasn't able to on 145. It's going to go up to 155. He's committed to 145. That's a nothing thing. Don't listen to that. He said, I think it was Mom's Basement. Like the one with the Robbie guy at Barstool. He said that like before that Lopez fight. That's a nothing thing. Don't think of that. That's not a worry. At these odds, I might have to bet Ortega, but like I'm not gonna bet too much on it. I'm not like ultra, it's T-City time. I mean, it is T-City time, but I'm not gonna be putting too much money on this one. But I do like Ortega to win this fight. Next fight up the card. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko 3. That judge who gave Grasso 10-8. What are you doing? In my eyes, Valentina Shevchenko is a champion. I think she's going to retain. I'm going to go decision. Shevchenko's the better fighter. I know like a lot of people are going to be like, well, but she's aging. She's not, and I get that. I totally get it. And I'm worried because it's another Mexican event. I think she actually might have a point about like Mexican, like the Mexican event, because it was the first Noche event where that second title fight took place. Where it was like, they might have had an influence. I would not shock me if that's the case. I think Shevchenko is better. I think she can have wrestling success again. I think the striking still does lean Shevchenko. I like Shevchenko here. I'm not willing to bet too much on it. Like, again, I'm scared to death about like these judges, because I'm not sure Valentina Shevchenko will get a finish here. Really, and putting it into the judges' hands. I don't like that. I don't like that too much. If I bet it, it's gonna be very, very small. But I do like Valentina to win this fight. I think she's better. If I'm honest, I mean, props to Grasso. Her hands are pretty freaking nice. She dropped Shevchenko in the second fight. Like that's super impressive. I can't take that away from her. But the one winning the fight for the most part is Valentina Shevchenko. She's still really good. There's no 35-year-old curse for women. I mean, Raquel Pennington literally proved that earlier this year. Literally became champion. And I like Valentina to win this fight. So, yeah. Give me Valentina Shevchenko to win. Next fight up the card. Sugar O'Malley versus Merab the Machine Dvalishvili. Very excited for this fight. This is a good one. Because I've been kind of going back and forth more recently. Originally when I was like heard this, I was like I was pretty confident O'Malley, and I am gonna go O'Malley. I have bet him, and I bet him very early. But as we get closer and closer, I'm like, I'm so scared of Merab. I'm so scared of this dude Merab. Merab is good. There's no denying that. I do think he's super open. And ultimately that is why I'm going O'Malley. I do have a good amount on O'Malley, and I have good odds. I plus money. At minus money, I don't really want to. I kind of don't want to touch O'Malley, and like I'm tempted to do like a little arb with Merab, but We'll see. We'll see. If I do ARB or something like that, I'll definitely mention something in the comments. O'Malley is too clean on the feet. I think he can win a decision. Probably unlike a lot of people. I think some people think O'Malley is like KO or bust. I don't think that's necessarily the case because he can't. I love the movement of O'Malley. I think he's an absolute sniper. Merab hasn't really fought a sniper like O'Malley has. So Cejudo, I wouldn't really call him that. Petr Yan, not really. Aldo, wouldn't really call him a sniper. Great striker though. I probably Marlon Moraes is like the closest thing to that. But even then, not how I would describe him. Like someone as long and lanky as like O'Malley, who's gonna use a lot of teeps and stuff like that. I know the UFC definitely want O'Malley to win. Probably they'll probably be okay either way. Merab's a fun guy. I like Merab. O'Malley, I like his fighting style. I don't really like him too much as a person, but the dude is damn good. I do think he has good jiu-jitsu too. Like, I'm forgetting who he had like a good jiu-jitsu performance against. Oh, I want to see this. Please, Tapology, have something. Please. Let me check. Oh, being foolish. Whatever. Let me look this up actually, because he had a really good jiu-jitsu performance. O'Malley Tapology. I'm looking it up on another tab. Very sorry about that. But it's like I looked at it the other day. I was like, damn, I forgot he did that. And that's like somewhat of a while ago. Hector Lombard, Takanori Gomi. It might have been Takanori Gomi. Yeah. But again, super impressive. Oh no, hold on. Sean O'Malley Jiu-Jitsu. Not belt. Not coach. It might have been Takanori Gomi, I think. Which again, impressive as hell. And he looked great in that jiu-jitsu thing, so. And I know he does like a lot of jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is not to be slept on. He's got good BJJ. Maybe he gets a sub. I'm not predicting that, but yeah, he's going to be dangerous, and I think he can fend himself on the ground if we even get there. Merab doesn't have necessarily the best not takedowns. He has good takedowns, but he's a cardio guy. We know he's a cardio guy. He pushes that pace. He's tough, and he needs to be tough here. He's going to take shots early on, and that's a worry. And I don't think you can take the shots from O'Malley with how clean he is. He's good at putting dudes' lights out, and I think he's going to here, sadly. Like I love Merab, but it is what it is. Yeah, I love the distance management of O'Malley. That distance management against Chito, great. He's shown he can go 5 rounds before. It's a little bit of a worry. I get that, but he's able to sustain a pace that he knows how to be smart with it. I think he has a chance to do that here. I would rather him not do that. I don't want to worry. I don't want to worry like that for my heart with O'Malley because this is Merab, of course. It might kind of go similar to like that Jose Aldo fight with Merab, where it's like he might have a lot of trouble getting him down, but he's trying to hold him against the fence. But O'Malley will do a good job doing more damage, stuff like that, which is why I kind of think like decision's not like out of the question, to be honest. Yeah, though I like O'Malley to win this fight. I think he does find the finish here. So yeah, give me Sean O'Malley. Let's get down, do a recap, and I'll talk about like other prop bets that sound interesting to me. Raul Rosas Jr. first round sub. Yeah, probably Raul Rosas in the distance, I would guess, is probably what's gonna happen. I'm not interested in betting it though. Yeah, Raul Rosas. I don't think more takedowns, but like that's like the odds on that are going to be disgusting. Probably more 6 strikes would be fine too, to be honest. So yeah, give me Raul Rosas Jr. for that. Josh Van, let me look up UFC stats for a moment. I need to just do one quick thing for this fight. So I want to see Josh Van's striking output. Because if he does have good striking output, because I know like round one, he maybe a little, not the most, less than Charles Johnson. That's Charles Johnson. Okay, maybe I wouldn't, if the number is crazy on it, I wouldn't mess with it. I wouldn't mess with it for Josh Van, more 6 strikes. But I think that's an okay look. I like an over in this fight. Over 1 or 2, I think over 2 rounds is very likely to hit. Over 2.5 might be a little sketchy, but I like over 2.5 here. I think if you want to play something like that, I think that's a good thing to play. I do think Josh Van's gonna bring that pace onto Edgar Chairez. I don't think the wrestling's gonna be a hindrance to him. I think he can get up and think he can box him up. So yeah, give me Joshua Van. Haragui, probably inside the distance or something like that would be okay. Like an under, I think is sneaky. I think I did say Haragui sub is sneaky. Wouldn't bet too much on either of those. Maybe more on like the under rather than the sub. The sub is, I mean, she's never had a sub before, so I'm just like going out on a limb. Is like I think it's possible. I think it's possible because she does have grappling. She does have grappling. Probably not going to happen, but you never know. Club and sub is always possible. Club and sub is always possible. And I do think she has the wrestling advantage here. So if it comes to that, it might be the path of least resistance. Honestly, yeah, I like Haragui to win. 6 strikes, Haragui. It's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. Yeah, more 6 strikes, Haragui. More takedowns, probably Haragui as well. Probably be okay as well. So I think those should be good. Torres, Ignacio Bahamondes. I think more 6 strikes, Ignacio Bahamondes would be like an okay bet. I think I wouldn't go crazy with it because Torres is always live for like to finish anyone. He's always live. So there's that. I do think the range of Bahamondes will add to that and will help him get the 6 strike. Since I'm going Bahamondes, I do think like maybe like an over. Maybe depends on the odds though. I wouldn't want to bet that though. But I think that would hit. Not much else I really like. Maybe more takedowns Torres, but no thanks. I'm not interested in that. Irani Aldana versus Norma Dumont. More takedowns Dumont. That's like a lock. Probably be sucky odds though. Let's be honest. So that's only thing I'm really interested in. Maybe like an over 1 round, 2 round. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a finish though. So I think even stay away overs and unders because I think it's pretty 50-50 on what it is. Whatever the dog odds on that is. I think that works. But I do think it goes to decision. Osborne Rodriguez, I just don't. More takedowns Rodriguez, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested in really putting too much on this. I do think Rodriguez in the distance, decision, no action. I think you'll be fine with that. I know Ode's a good striker. He can hurt anyone, but I don't see it happening here. Even though Rodriguez is pretty slow. He is pretty slow. But I do think that's got a pretty high likelihood of hitting. So yeah, I like that. So yeah, I do think Rodriguez will get it to the ground and find a submission. Zell Huber versus Esteban Ribovics. I like Zell Huber to keep his distance, use his great striking, and keep Esteban Ribovics at bay, even though Ribovics is a monster. But I think it's going to be an impressive performance. More 6 strikes, Zell Huber, I think I'm going to like a lot. Depends on the odds, of course, but I think that's a good look. More takedown. I'm not interested in that. I think an over it'll be a scary, sweaty over though. So like, for your sanity's sake, I don't think you should do it because I think this fight's gonna be insane, like guaranteed. So yeah, I think those are the odds to look at. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. I like Ortega to win. I think he's gonna weather the storm from Lopez, and I think he's gonna bring his own storm and have Lopez try and weather in. I don't think he will, so that's why I like T-City to win. I don't like an over. I don't want to bet over or under in this one. This fight probably will be an insane fight. I don't really have many I really like, to be honest. I don't have many like odds like that I like. I just kind of like Ortega money line, but even then I was like, don't put too much on it, I think. So yeah. Shevchenko Grasso. there's nothing I really am crazy about because I think 6 strikes could be. I think it's going to be close. Takedowns, I lean Valentina a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised if Grasso does try and go for takedowns, though, to be fair. So, not too interested in that. I don't want to bet an over and under on this one. I scary feeling that Grasso finds a finish of some kind, but I do think Valentina wins at the end of the day. I do think so. So, yeah, I go with Valentina. I think she's just a better fighter and she's going to be able to do good work on the feet, keep a measured pace, and be able to get takedowns and wrestle. And Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. I think an over is probably like. I think that's sneaky and could definitely hit. It is a worry though. O'Malley can KO him at any point. I think Merab low-key could like land a big shot and drop O'Malley. If I'm honest, I think he can low-key do that. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it wouldn't shock me. But at the end of the day, O'Malley, beautiful striker, one of the best strikers in the UFC. I think he does get a KO early on. I think O'Malley KO 1, 2, and 3 is live, and he probably is live for 4 and 5, but more so in those 3 rounds. And then those coupled with like a decision, I think is very possible for O'Malley. Yeah, probably not sub. Yeah. Yeah, I like O'Malley. I think he's able to get it done. So, yeah, those are my picks. Those are my predictions. Those are suggestions for. Oh wait. I was gonna say 6 strikes O'Malley, but like it is a worry with Merab. How I think the fight's gonna happen, that 6 strike bet's gonna hit. How I think the fight's gonna happen. But if you think Merab is going to be able to weather the storm, keep it going, very possible Merab gets that 6 strike bet. So whatever you think is gonna happen, I think that's best way to look at it. More takedowns, probably Merab. I think that's probably pretty safe. I don't think O'Malley's going to be shooting for takedowns. So, yeah, those are my predictions. Those are my betting advice and stuff like that. So, yeah, lock them in. Very excited for this card. UFC Noche. I think the card's getting way too much hate. I'm very excited for this Sphere. I've been hearing like a lot of like hate for this card, and also been hearing like a lot of people who are like inside the know and like are like going into the Sphere saying like this Sphere thing is crazy. I'm ready to be impressed. I'm very, very excited. Like Kevin Aioli, like talked about it. Sean O'Malley said something about it. I'm willing to trust him. And have some fun. Very, very excited for this card. I wish there was more than 10 fights. I do. I get it. There's more cost, but I want more fights always. So that's like if I had one complaint, that's the one. Maybe put Rodriguez or Ode under for Bahamondes versus Torres or Dumont versus Aldana. Not the end of the world. The fights are still going on. I can't complain. Very excited for this card. You can check me out, champbetsmma.com, and you can also check me out, betme.tips under the name Champbets. And yeah, let's get it. Good luck. Let's go Harugui. Let's go O'Malley, I guess. Although I might make an ARB because Merab is a plus money now. I got O'Malley at plus money, so I might ARB it. We'll see. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I breakdown. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great one.